Hey, thanks for joining us here on 9 News Watch for a look at your headlines on this Wednesday, October the 6th. I'm Chris Bianchi. We'll start things out with some news from this morning. I-70 is closed in both directions from Loveland Pass to Silverthorns after a fatal 5-car crash earlier this morning. CDOT says that they expect the closure to last the majority of the day while CDOT perform some of the emergency work that is necessary to reopen the interstate. So use Loveland Pass, it's Highway 6, as a detour, though that'll probably add at least an extra half hour to your journey in both directions. A high-profile trial begins today in the case of a former Idaho gubernatorial candidate who is being charged with the 1984 murder of a 12-year-old Greeley girl. Jury selection starts today in the case of Steve Bianchi, who was arrested in October of 2020 after 12-year-old Janelle Matthews' remains were found in July 2019 in rural Weld County. The murder was a cold case until Matthews' remains were discovered last year. The state's COVID-19 vaccine deadline is at the end of this month, so KUSA Permanente is suspending thousands of unvaccinated workers. And as 9 News reporter Eddie Randall explains, UC Health has already fired some of its unvaccinated workers.
Firings here at UC Health and other hospitals are placing thousands of employees on unpaid leave for not complying with the vaccine mandate. This is happening at 2 of the state's largest healthcare providers. Over the weekend, we learned UC Health fired 119 employees, all who refused to get the vaccine by the mandate deadline, which was last Friday. So according to the hospital, that's less than 0.5% of the healthcare system's employees statewide. Terminated employees can reapply for their jobs if they choose to get vaccinated. Over at KUSA Permanente, it announced that it placed 2,200 employees on unpaid leave. That is less than 1% of the 239,000 employees across the country. Employees have until December 1st to get the vaccine and return to work. We talked to the Colorado Hospital Association, who says staffing is their top concern.
Healthcare workers are a special group of people, right? They are trained for years to provide care for others. You know, they're committed to their work. They love their work. Otherwise, it'd be a difficult thing to continue doing day in and day out.
On October 21st, the Board of Health is going to consider recent propositions to the emergency rule. So what they're proposing is that these facilities meet a 90% vaccine threshold instead of 100%. The Colorado Hospital Association says that this will leave room for exemptions for medical and for religious beliefs. Reporting in Aurora, I'm Eddie Randall, 9 News.
Dog owners, heads up. If you're planning on using the Cherry Creek State Park off-leash dog area, that's about 107 acres, by the way, that will be closed next Monday through the following Friday, so the 11th through the 15th. That's basically all of next week due to maintenance, according to Colorado Parks and Wildlife. Now, this is the 3rd straight year that the popular dog park will be closed down for maintenance. There will be new concrete added. And by the way, CPW says that they expect this to be a twice-a-year closure moving forward. Chatfield High School Principal Chad Brower resigned his position on Monday. This comes ahead of a court appearance from Chatfield High School's athletic director, who is answering to an accusation that he failed to report child abuse or neglect as required by state law. Brower spent 18 years with the school and district. The University of Denver is about to get a mountain campus. The school announced on Tuesday that they have bought more than 700 acres of land in rural Larimer County and that they will be turning that into the James Kennedy Mountain Campus. Students are going to have a chance to visit the new campus this fall, though longer stays at the new facility will start next fall in 2022. Meanwhile, a new report shows Colorado's air quality was amongst some of the worst in the United States last year. It highlights several cities in Colorado for seeing an increase in more pollution throughout 2020, despite, of course, less travel by cars and planes during the heart of the pandemic. Experts say that wildfires could have played a role, but only a little bit of it. It doesn't tell the full story. Here's 9 News reporter Luis De Leon with more.
Denver really is the perfect storm for bad air pollution.
Colorado is seeing more air pollution, and not just from wildfire smoke. That's according to a new report out this week from the Environment Colorado Research and Policy Center.
I think this report is very concerning.
Kia Scheineman is a professor of meteorology at MSU Denver. Among other things, she says location plays a role with the air pollution levels we're seeing in the state.
Kind of being more like in a valley situation, and that air pollution can stagnate there.
This map from the report shows the total number of days of elevated ozone, or more pollution, in all of 2020 across the U.S. When we look at Colorado, Boulder and Colorado Springs are among the top 10 biggest areas for having more than 100 days of it. In a separate list that includes particle pollution from fires, the Denver area had 129 days out of the year. And even though we saw less cars and planes last year because of the pandemic, the big wildfires, Scheineman says, possibly made up for what could have been an improvement. And the pollution particles that come from that just isn't good for our health.
I think this report is very concerning. I think we all want to breathe clean air and have healthy children who don't have asthma. And because they're so tiny, they can penetrate pretty deep into your lungs, and those can cause some pretty serious damage to your lungs.
But Environment Colorado's Senior Program Director Rex Wilmoth says it goes further than just wildfires.
But the bigger picture is, what is the human impact that we're having on the planet right now? There are wildfires, and it's going to continue to happen. And as we continue to have global warming, there's going to be more wildfires.
The solution, he believes, more electric cars and more solar panels to start. He hopes legislation going on, like the infrastructure bill, can help make doing that more affordable.
Being able to have tax incentives for people that are homeowners to be able to afford to put these on their houses.
From there, let's turn it over to the weather, where wildfire smoke and ground ozone won't be of concern for your day today. But what will be, well, temperatures in the upper 70s. I don't know how concerning that is, but it'll be sunny for us as we head through the remainder of your day today. Maybe an isolated storm in Denver, but a very low chance of that. Better chance of a storm as you head south and west of the city. Now, tomorrow, we're going to be drying on out. Any showers and storms that we're talking about south and west of town will clear on up. And for your Thursday, we're talking about temperatures right around 80 degrees with continued sunny skies. Friday, maybe an isolated storm once again. It's not until the weekend that it'll actually start to feel a bit more pumpkin spice-like, with those temperatures finally dropping back into the 60s on Sunday. And just as an early heads up from your favorite meteorologist here, it does look like next week we'll be on the busy side. We will be looking at the possibility for some snow in the mountains, and maybe, just maybe, down into the foothills and the Palmer Divide as well. So next week, if you're looking for some of that fall-like or wintry-like weather, wait till next week and it will come. And finally, great news for apple lovers. That's right, the fruit. Orchard growers are saying this is one of the best apple crops in recent years, thanks to cool but not freezing nights and dry conditions. So enjoy those delicious Colorado apples. They will be extra tasty this year, and it's all thanks to Mother Nature and, of course, our proud orchard growers. That'll do it for your 9 News headlines here on 9 News Watch. I'm Chris Bianchi. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.